Eric, thank you so much for being here. We're so excited that you're going to give us some great information today because you have so much to share. You are so good at the topics of goal setting and sales. And hopefully today we're going to get a little bit to the sales information too, if we have a few minutes left during our conversation with you, because you have so much that you can share. So first off, I want to know, you have such crazy avid fans. The people that have worked with you just love you. So you get incredible results. Obviously you're in your flow. What drove you to do what you're doing today?
You know, it's really just tapping into my purpose and doing what I believe I'm here to do. I'm in alignment with what God wants me to do. I do my best to be obedient to sharing what I think I'm supposed to do in the world. So I just love helping people. And I love sharing the things that I've learned to make a difference in the lives of others.
This is it. You are literally the king of goal setting. That's what I call you, because you have made this your passion and your love to help people get their goals on track. So how do you do that?
Well, one thing to recognize is goal setting is a learned skill. Anybody can learn it. You can get good at it. You can get great at it. And it's possible for any of you watching this, you can become a master of goal setting. And goal setting impacts all areas of our life: finances, relationships, fitness, etc. And so it's really about just learning those principles of goal setting, following those principles, and the better you get at it, the more success you're going to have.
You have some advice for us and say, we are starting a new year right now. This is our New Year's Eve special show. And a lot of people will be setting those resolutions, which they are goals in a way, and they're setting goals for their year. And they definitely, who doesn't want this year to be better than the last year? Right? We're setting the bar pretty low. But let's just say, if we're going to set the bar higher, what is some advice that you can give us as to how we can set goals that are reachable?
Yeah, I'll give you my favorite goal setting formula. It's 3 letters: GSA, goal, strategy, action. And we've all heard of setting goals and writing a strategy and taking action. But the power in this, it's the combination of those 3 ideas in that order. So if I was coaching you one-on-one, I'd ask you, what are your goals? You tell me. And then I'd say, are they written down? And maybe they are, maybe they're not. And then I'd say, what's your strategy? What's your action plan? And you would tell me, and I would say, is it written down? Maybe there are, maybe they're not. I'd tell you to write it down. And then I would say, action. Take massive action on a daily basis. So for any of you going into the new year, write those goals down, write down your strategy, write down that action plan, and take massive action on a daily basis.
Why is writing things down important?
It's a great question. And I don't know like the neuroscience behind it, because I've never been trained in that. But like you said, the other experts that I've studied, like Brian Tracy, says, write it down. And I just tried it out. I said, write it down. And then all of a sudden things start happening. And I've used this in all areas of my life. When I ended up, I've been married twice. I'm with my second wife now. And so in between my marriages, I wrote down, this is the type of woman and this is what I'm looking for. And then she showed up and I was like, oh my gosh, it's everything I wrote down and then some. And I was like, this is awesome. Everybody should know to do this. So
I did the same thing with a husband. So I don't know, we might have just gone into a whole new show here. You're going to have to come back.
For those of you looking for love in 2021, you tuned into the right show. Here's how you find your soulmate, right?
That's definitely worth another show. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Writing things down, I don't know what it does, but it works in my experience. You can write down, I want more clients. I want more income. I want more social media following, whatever it is that you're up to. But it's not just writing it down. It's writing down the strategy. And then it's the action part, Right. And my mentor, he taught me ready, fire, aim. And what a lot of people do is they go ready, aim, 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 and they don't do anything. Like your show here, you all got together and you said, hey, let's do a show. And then you didn't wait until it was perfect, right?
No.
God, no.
Can't tell.
I mean, it's perfect now, but of course when he launched it, right? And so that's the key. What successful people do is they take action. They're not waiting for it to be perfect. And part of the learning is in the doing. That's how we learned how to drive a car. You didn't read about it in a book. You got behind the wheel. And I think a lot of people are like, well, I'm not ready to do LinkedIn yet because I don't know what to do. But we learn by doing. That's the action part.
So did you find a similarity of the actions between the different goals that, if I wanted to go make X dollars and you watch all your clients, you find these patterns, sort of like what AI teaches us to watch, this, and we learn by doing, and we get smarter as we learn.
There's blueprints, right? So Ruthie Bolton, who's a friend of mine, she's a 2-time Olympic gold medal winner in basketball. Well, there's blueprints for success that I can use in sales, even though sales and basketball are totally different. So people that are achieving at a high level, it's not an accident. And it's looking at what is that pattern. It's a mindset. Like one great mindset that anybody can do, and it's free, is to go for greatness. Whatever you do in your life, strive to be a great realtor, strive to be a great coach, strive to be a great fill in the blank. Anybody can do it. Most people don't, because they don't view themselves. They don't see that greatness in them. And that's part of what calls like this are about. It's like mirroring people's greatness. So they're like, oh, I could go for greatness. And then boom, their life changes.
We'll be sure that we have a link to that in our resources as well.
Yeah, if you Google Eric Lofholm, my YouTube channel will show up. But there's all kinds of great, free, of course, YouTube, it's free content, and little short and long videos as well.
Yeah, this has been a tough year for a lot of people. So are you working right now with people like how to get joy in your life next year? Or what do you see people wanting as goals for next year?
Well, what I will say about this year is obviously it's been an incredibly challenging year, and it's put a lot of people into fear and worry. And the big thing that I learned this year is that fear and faith can't coexist. So if I'm in fear, then I'm not in faith. And if I'm in faith, I'm not in fear. And I found I operate much better when I'm operating from a place of faith. And it could be spiritual faith, or it could just be faith in myself, faith in my company, faith in my product, faith that it's going to work out okay. And so one of the most important things that we can have is mindset, optimism. And what's so great with the new year coming, we all get a clean slate, right? And thank God for that, right? Because 2020 is like, let's get that one in the rearview window. But 2021 is going to be a great year. The world's going to open back up, and we're going to get back to just doing incredible, incredible things in the new year.
Eric, vision boards are so popular with people. What do you feel about vision boards?
Yeah, if you think about a goal, so we can view a goal, which is like seeing a vision board, a picture of what you want. You can visualize it, you can see it in your mind, or you could speak it, right? Like an affirmation. So view, visualize, and speak. And you can take those views like a vision board, or make it a screensaver on your computer, or the photo on your smartphone that pops up, right? And that's a very, very powerful thing, because it's putting this image in your mind of what it is that you want to create. So I'm a big believer in that type of thinking.
Are journals similar? I see a lot of offers to buy journals. That's sort of there's like a common thread throughout them. Write down your goals, write down your affirmations. You see that? Is that similar or different than a vision board?
Yeah. So journaling, here's what's great about journaling. You can advance an idea further on paper than you can in your mind. So you take that goal of you want to, get a house this upcoming year, and you start writing it down, and you start thinking about, well, I got to get the loan financing, and I got to go look for property, and you start writing down all the things you need to do, and you can take the idea from your mind, but take it many, many steps further. So I love journaling, and I learned journaling from Jim Rohn. That was Tony Robbins' mentor when he was alive. I used to attend his classes, and he was big on journaling. He actually taught Tony Robbins to journal as well. So journaling is huge, and I love journaling.
Are journals like generic journaling, or would you have a journal for a specific niche or a specific goal?
I like to do it just to get the thoughts out of my head, right? Okay. So I might write down things that I want to do for my business, or for my fitness, or for my kids, or for wealth building. And so it's kind of all different categories, but I like to just get the thought from my mind, get it down in writing, and it just kind of helps me further get clear on it. Earl Nightingale, when he was alive, he had The Strangest Secret, which was the first motivational record to ever sell 1 million copies. Record being like a record player, like when we were all growing up, right? And so the strangest secret is we become what we think about. And what I say is we become what we think about, and write it down. Write down what it is that you want to create, and you're far more likely to follow through and take action if it is written down, in my experience.
Eric, do you find that there's value in celebrating small, like setting smaller goals on your way to a big goal? Like, do you look at a lifetime goal and work backwards and celebrate on
All
the
of
way?
it. Yeah. So one of my favorite sayings is small wins create confidence. And there was a time in my life, unfortunately, that I ended up homeless and I was sleeping in my car and all kinds of other stuff happened. And it was just the most challenging time in my life. And I got this job waiting tables at Harrah's Casino in Reno, Nevada, graveyard shift. So 11 at night to 7 o'clock in the morning. The average tip is $1 a table. But when I got the job, it was like this peak experience for me because I was so down. It was a win. And I learned in that moment, small wins create confidence. And so anytime I'm having a tough day, and I have them too, I look for a small win. Maybe it's just like go clean the kitchen and I get to feel good about myself. Like, great, good job, Eric, you got the kitchen clean. So small wins are great. And you've touched on something that most people don't do, lifetime goals. Most people think out 5 years or fewer. They're not thinking in decades. Mm-hmm. So I love those long-term lifetime goals, especially around net worth and career goals and where you want to live and where you want to travel to. And so that's another really great distinction.
And we only have about a minute left with you. And I know I said that we would try to get to some sales information. So in 60 seconds, nothing like a challenge. I know you can handle it, Eric. Some of us, really, when you say the word sales, we panic inside. We get a little thing that goes on and we just have a mindset of, I can't, I won't, I don't like it. What is one thing that we can do to help us recognize what's in our way when it comes to asking for the sale?
Yeah, people resist selling because there's a stigma to sales in our culture. And some of you might not like to sell. You want to help the client or whatever you do, but you don't want to have to sell it because there's this stigma. And it's a reframe. And what I teach is selling equals service, sell from honesty, integrity, and compassion. Selling is about leading. Selling is about moving people to action. So the short answer is we literally it's a paradigm shift in how we think about selling because the resistance is connected to the mindset that selling is a dirty word. And every business needs to drive revenue. So I love helping people let go of that resistance. And once you have that paradigm shift, you're never going to have resistance to sales ever again.
There's no stopping you once we get there.
That's right.
Do you have any products or services that somebody could find to help us achieve our goals?
Yeah. So one of the things that I have coming up in January is a free masterclass. And I'm going to have to get you the link that you can share with your audience. And I'm doing something totally free. And it's all about how do you create greater level of success in your business. And so that's coming up. And then I have, I'm all over social media with free content, podcasts, YouTube, things of that nature. I'm the only Eric Lofholm in the world. So if you Google Eric Lofholm, that's me because I'm the only one. And I love sharing content and sharing ideas with people. I'm more of a teacher than an originator of ideas. So I go study the greats, the Brian Tracy's and the Tony Robbins, the Lisa Nichols, grab those ideas, try them out for myself, and then teach the ideas that I love that have worked for me.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I want to know, definitely want to know more about you. And I'm excited about your course that you told us about. I'm excited because when we first met you, you're like, I'm not sure it's going to be done in time for the show. Hey! So we win by being able to bring that. And we're going to have that for everybody at the coffeewiththequeens.com website. Look under guests, resources are underneath there. And that's where you'll find it. And of course, look up Eric Lofholm because he's the only one in the world. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. It was so awesome.
Have a great rest of the show.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
So what would you like to say to everybody out there for the coming new year?
That's a good question.
2021 is going to be such a different year. A year where I don't know if some of you believe when the Lord talks to you or when you get messages from the Lord. But according to what I have been getting is that next year is supposed to be the busiest year that I have ever had. That means there's going to be so many good possibilities coming up next year. After the pandemic, I believe won't go away. It will not go away for years and years to come, but it will not affect our generations that much.
So it's been a very difficult year for many of us, but what we have to do is remember that we have to strive to keep moving forward no matter what. Stay around people that are optimistic, stay away from people that are pessimistic. 2021 has to be a year of growth, of new possibilities, and it's all within you. You can do it. You can make it happen.
So I have a phrase that if you own the magnificence that is inside of you, the world will respond accordingly. So here we are at the start of a new year. This has been, words can't even describe. It's been a year, 2020. And in all of the chaos and the pain and the illness and the loss and the aggravation that we have had and the fear and mistrust and so many negative things, out of every one of those, we can find something that actually is magnificent. We can find a blessing. We can learn that we are magnificent as human beings when we tap into that compassion, not when we get angry, but when we tap into that compassion and understanding for one another. And maybe it took a virus for us to be able to see what is important and what isn't, to be able to learn how to relate to people that maybe we couldn't relate to before.
There is so much possibility and so many opportunities. It's time to take your glass ceilings and make them your glass floors. It's time to stand on your glass floors and make your 2021 the best year it can ever be. If it's possible, that's all I need to know. I just need to know it's possible, and then look out, because here we go. It's about bringing anybody with me who wants to come with me and join with me, because when something's really possible and other people have achieved it, that we can achieve it too. It doesn't matter where you've been. It doesn't matter what your limiting beliefs are. The paradigm is the unconscious thinking, the unconscious limiting beliefs that keeps you from being open to fresh thinking. So if you can do a paradigm shift for 2021, it's a game changer. You get to zig when everybody else is zagging, and you're going to come out ahead of the game. 1 year from now, it's going to be very different.
Yeah. In reality, there's always like a light at the end of the tunnel, and then we will all just hope for a better tomorrow.
What does 2021 mean to you?
So many good possibilities, so many good opportunities are going to open up. There will be people that were very sad and very heartbroken this year. They will be very, very happy. People that were very, very broke. Next year will be a year when they would make a lot of money. It will be a very good year. In my case, for teachers, administrators, for educators, it's gonna be one of the best years ever. We will be teaching. The schools will be open again. Kids will see a new type of generations that are gonna come. Very smart kids, very smart generations that are coming in the future. I believe that some of our kids will invent new things, new ideas. I believe that the virus, they will eventually find a cure to that. Right now we have the vaccines that are good, and then at the same time, a lot of people are not sold on the idea of the vaccine. And it's all right. It's okay not to believe in that. And you don't have to believe in it, because there's other alternatives, of course. There's always the alternative medicine. The world will change, but it will change to the better. 2021 will be such a beautiful year. You will see. Remember that when you do and you start doing okay, help your neighbor. Help the people that are in need.
It's an opportunity to own the magnificence inside of you and share it with everyone else, because if you want to see change in the world, it starts with us.
To me, it means the biggest growth year of my life by helping other people get to the level they desire.
What is your favorite quote for 2021?
There's a saying in Spanish that says, "Me chica tiawi." Me chica tiawi means to continue, to go forward, to look back, but not to live in the past, but to go forward.
It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. It only matters what you do.
Owning the magnificence for 2021.
Life is what you make it, so make it enjoyable. Life's too short to be miserable.
Sense your power and seize the day. Have faith, be strong. And always remember that you are the CEO of your own life. You have the choice to make anything you want happen. It's your choice, though. What are you going to do about it?
In Mexico, they say, no hay mal que dure 100 años.
What's that mean?
There is no epidemic that can go for 100 years.
Right.
Happy New Year. Let's go, baby. It is rocket fuel time.
Stay safe. Enjoy your year.
I say make 2021 the best year that you can possibly make.